Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Be careful of a man calling himself good. And, I know I'm probably rile up some guys who follow this channel or something, but look, I'm going to just be real with you. Ladies, and some ladies my last podcast on here, I talked about the lady players. Y'all can hang back. Y'all already know this. Like I said, y'all get over on most men. It is what it is. But for some of the other ladies, and I've seen this happen a lot of times a woman get played, not because the man got money or anything, or even because he look good, but because he call himself good, and you that goody girl. And what I mean by goody is not the same as good. Good is that sex. Goody girl means you basically a good woman. Could be called nerdy or something, but you ain't getting in trouble or something. So you looking for that good guy. Like, yeah, you might find a player attractive, Mr. Goodbar attractive, and you basically want that, but you might deal with that guy who might be considered husband cute or something, but who calls himself good. Be careful of a man who labels himself that way. Be careful. Now, this is not to say that he isn't a good man. He probably is. He might be a very good man, but be careful of it. Because here's the thing. A truly good man doesn't have to tell you he's good. You're going to see it. See, men really ain't talk. Be careful of men who talk too much. Like even myself, if I'm not doing a podcast, I'm not very talkative. I'm serious. I'm like quiet most of the time. Unless I'm talking with you in particular, one-on-one, or I'm doing a podcast, I'm not the most talkative person. If I'm in a group, I'll be quiet unless I need to say something. I'm very quiet. I'm not that type who's going to be like gregarious unless it's business. I'll put it like that with me, right? I let my actions speak for me. So, if you see a guy, if you want to know he's good, well, before I even get into that, remember, good is ultimately what's good for you. So a guy calling himself good, that don't mean he's good for you, right? Keep that in mind. But ultimately, right? A man's actions need to show he's good. Like, I remember a woman asked me, a couple women have said, are you a good guy? Well, I say, I don't know. Why don't you pay attention to me for a month and determine on your own? And I told him that. I said, why don't you satisfy yourself? I ain't a knucklehead. I ain't some bad guy and stuff. Because there was a time I would call myself good. I was like, I'm a good man. It was probably when I was the biggest dog. And when I called myself that now, when I said I stopped calling myself that, I wouldn't call myself a bad guy either. But once I said, nah, I don't know. You tell me. I'm just doing my thing, what I'm supposed to do. If that's good enough for you, But people would see my actions. In fact, I've had some women, they said they were checking me out for a long time, watching, be careful of that. Because, see, that's a game men will use against you. Like on this channel, look, let me be clear. Like on my other channel, despite what many people think, and despite being called a dating coach, I'm just telling a man to develop his best self. Whether he uses it to get multiple women, if people notice, I don't tell men to get multiple women. If they do so anyway, that's on them. And I don't even tell them to settle down. I tell them to deal with women the way they want to deal with women. Just be straight up with them about it. That's all. And a lot of guys just want that thing. So I ain't really like tell them how to get over on you, right? I'm not telling them that. I'm telling them to develop themselves. So on this thing, I'm going to tell y'all how to avoid those guys and really keep focused on the genuinely good men. See, a genuinely good man, he going to show it in his actions. Not even towards you, but just in general. Like you could sit back and you might be in a position just to observe this guy. And you're just going to notice how he carry himself. He might not know you're around. And ladies, let's be real. We know y'all can check out a guy for a long time and he has no idea you exist. So when you doing that, just watch how he carry himself and everything. That's how you'll know. But see, you get some guys, when they coming at you and they on that player thing, they going to tell you what they think you want to hear. Now, I don't advise this for men to do. You know, I don't tell them tell them that shit. I don't tell men to lie to women. If y'all notice, but you're just gonna get some guys to do. So what you think they're gonna come up? You think they're gonna come up and like say, "Oh yeah, I'm a bad guy, I dog women and all of that"? No, they're gonna say they're a good guy. They want a regular relationship, you know. And of course, you know, they're gonna tell the usual stuff about, you know, compliment you probably even heavier and stuff. And they're gonna say, "Yeah, I don't do all this." And I'm just like, yeah, but your actions don't speak that. In fact, I'm gonna tell you what. I remember one time, right? And this was with my co-parent before we got married. Before we got married. Now, of course, she's the co-parent now because we're not married any longer. But that's another story. But I remember we were at this expo, right? We were at this expo. It was a black expo. I was selling some books I had, right? And this wasn't, what was this? Yeah, what was this? Yeah, I think this was the precursor to my current Nice Guys and Players book. I forgot which book I was selling exactly. I was selling something. I always got something to sell. But anyway, right? So there was a guy next to us, and he kept looking over at her, right? And I remember I stepped away for a second. I came back. Dude was getting his rap on. He was getting his rap on. So as I approached him, and you know, I came up like my energy said about to go to his jaw, because I thought it was disrespectful. Right? He could have did that a different way. How he approached it, but then he said, "Oh yeah, but I'm a good guy. My mama raised me good," and I was like, yet you try to talk to her like as soon as I leave. It'd be different if he had like started speaking to us while I was standing there and talking to both of us, but you would definitely try and get a rap on. All right. So, you know, but he was calling himself a good guy, and I'm a good guy, and my mama raised me good and stuff. I was like, man, you full of shit. I'd have been cool. I would have had more respect for him. He'd just say, "Hey, what's up, man? Oh, this you, man? Oh, man, yeah, man. All right, man. Hey, man, she beautiful and shit." I'd actually respect him then. But he was calling himself good and everything. I was like, dude, really? Yeah. So watch that. Like, ladies, see, understand the basics of a man. The basics of a man, a true man, is always going to be in his actions. How he's carrying himself, his posture, everything like that. Like, the easiest thing to do in the world is for a man to lie. And, like, let's be real. You have some dating coaches even encourage men to lie and tell a woman whatever. And see, some women, especially the goody girls, and you know I'm trying to help the goody women out, but y'all get played. Y'all get played. And y'all say it like, you know, I wish I had a dime. Every single time I heard of some woman just going for what a man said and not paying attention to his actions and stuff. And this ain't even about a man calling himself good, because I knew this woman, right? And I gotta share this. Now, she was interested in a college education going out. She met this guy, right? And he was like, oh, yeah. And he told all this good stuff, and he was going to send her to school and all of that. He said, this what he said. And the whole family, they said, yeah, he's a good guy. He's going to send her to school. He's going to pay for her to go to school. I was the only one. Right? I was the only one. And this, it was kind of a social group where you also knew the parents and stuff too. I was the only one out of her family, out of her friends, who was like, yeah, but this dude's really a street dude. He's a more sophisticated street dude. He's a street dude. This dude had a lot of bad stuff that I could see on one meeting. All right? A lot of bad stuff I could see on one meeting. And I said, that dude ain't gonna send her to school. Right? I say he's saying one thing, but his actions show another thing. Right? His actions and his background. So always be careful. Always be careful. Now, he could tell you that, and like I said, a legitimate good guy can tell you that. But look at it, does his actions match? Does his actions match what's coming out of his mouth? So always keep that in mind, ladies. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.